Now, up to now, we've been working in pretty interesting locations with interesting looking models, and in many ways, it makes our job easier as lighting camera people, DOPs, to craft something because you're using the environment to motivate the lighting style and perhaps the character of a room. Enter the classic boardroom. It's a pretty ordinary looking room. You will come across many of these in your days when you're filming, particularly if you do corporate video. And so in this section, I want to show you how I go about making something out of nothing. Now, the first thing I want to do in here is turn off these ghastly overhead lights. So we'll do that. And that just helps us to see any ambient light that's in the room. So by turning off the fluorescent lights in the room, we start to get a bit of a feel for how light is falling. Now, of course, we can close all the curtains and start with a kind of studio environment, but let's not make life difficult for ourselves. If you've got the opportunity to have some daylight coming into the room, then we want to think about how you can use that. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't got a clue how I'm going to shoot this yet. And don't be alarmed when you walk into a room and you have what I call the Stan Laurel moment, where you stand there and just scratch your head and go, I've no idea what I'm going to do. But you work through the process. So the first thing I do is take the camera off the tripod and just start looking for shots to see if I can see something of interest. Now, in these situations where you've got long tables, I'm thinking, you know, we could do something whereby you were shooting along a table, but then there's that ugly ladder outside, so that's not going to work. Could we do it this side, where again, we can shoot along the table, and that might work. We could place it somewhere. In fact, Izzy, can I borrow you for a second? I'll put Izzy, my producer. This is Izzy, everyone, who's a producer here. Izzy, can I get you to sit in this chair here for me? Now, the premise for this interview is that we're interviewing someone who's managing this location, which is a conference center. Now, we could do something here where we could do something like that. That's a possibility. But perhaps actually, Izzy, can I just put you maybe into this chair? And actually, let's see. This is where I think composition can really help you. Again, this process we go through of finding the frame first and then thinking about lighting. So I like how the shape of the U-shaped desk is breaking frame, and I wonder if there's something we can do whereby, see, that's getting kind of interesting. We're using this window again as a bit of a kicker. I wonder if that will work. This is just really a process of elimination. See, I'm thinking we can use these bottles of water. You know, the conference venue is set up very orderly, and that's kind of what conferences are all about shipping in, you know, the executives to sit around the table and team build. And maybe we can do something where we can drop the camera down. See, that's starting to get quite interesting. Right, I think we'll go for something like that. Put that camera there. You know, it's about time. You know, we don't have lots and lots of time to try out lots of different things. So you have to develop a level of confidence that says, yeah, this will work. This is the frame I'm looking for. Quick tip here. I've got these Manfrotto 394 plates on my camera and the opposite on my tripod, so I can come on and off the tripod really, really quickly. So, bring this tripod down. We always want to set the frame first, get a frame that you're happy with, and then light. And I'm getting to a point where I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm on the 70mm lens on this FS100, and actually I'd say that's my starting point. What I like about the shot is I've got some graphical lines cutting through the frame, and that's a style that I like to work with. So your eye is drawn in from the bottom right of frame up towards our interviewee. Now, Izzy, if you can look over that way and come round this way with your eyes, about there, keep coming, about there. So what I'll do is I'll put Izzy, who's going to be interviewing this guy, just in a chair, probably around about here. Because while my camera is far away, in order for the interview to work well, Izzy needs to be engaging, or the person needs to be engaging with Izzy, the producer, and ignore the camera. I'm also going to put the 70 to 200mm lens on this, because at 70mm I've got a nice wide shot, but I want to go in for close-ups. So what I need to do now is light it.